A few weeks ago, I asked you guys on YouTube and Instagram and Twitter to send me over some of the questions that you had, and you guys delivered. I got tons of questions on my personal journey, my trading life, my personal life. And in this video, I'm going to be answering some of the most interesting questions. So let's get into it. Question number 1. How do you know when to cut a losing trade? And this one is a very big one. Risk to reward is very important, especially in the beginning, because the number one reason why people can't trade anymore or lose motivation, lose focus, is because they blow up accounts or they lose more than they would ever imagine. One of the things that is very important before I answer this question is understanding the emotions that go behind a losing trade. As human nature, we do not like to lose, and we also don't like to be told that we are wrong. Instead of handling the loss and instead of just cutting it right away, we don't, and we hold in hope and we revenge trade and we add to losses. Why do we do all of these things? Because we go into a fight or flight response. When we're in a losing position, we're like, how can I make this back? What can I do to make this trade better? Or let me give it some wiggle room to see if it goes in my favor. And all of these thoughts are all going through beginner traders' minds and experienced traders' minds. So the only way that I know how to cut a losing trade is when I make a plan before I enter the trade in the first place. I am writing down what trade is interesting, what setup is interesting, what criteria I'm using, but the number one that I'm writing down is, what is my risk? Because sometimes we can fall into this trap thinking, how much money can I make? But the most important question to ask yourself is, how much money can I lose on this trade? So how do I know to cut a losing trade? I write it down in my plans, 2% of my account. So if I'm trading a $30,000 account, my risk is going to be $600. And that is how I know when I'm going to cut that for my max stop loss. Now, per trade, my risk is 1% per trade. So I'm going to be risking $300. So to make it nice and simple, say I have a stock and I want to enter at 110 and my risk is going to be at $1. If my max risk per trade is going to be $300, I'm going to use 3,000 shares. I'm going to risk that $1, and that's going to give me $300 max loss. Now, say I don't stop out, my max loss would be $600, so I would stop out completely for the day. And this is not going to be a mental stop. This is going to be a hard stop. And that is how I know how to cut a losing trade, because I know beforehand, before I even enter the trade, I already know how much I'm risking, where I'm going to risk on the level, what level I'm going to risk off of, and where I'm going to cut that trade. So make sure you always write it in the plans before that, and everybody's process is going to be different. Question number 2, which is also a very popular one. Jack is a day trader as well, so we both have a little bit of similar schedules. So what do we like to do for fun? We try to make it a hard rule that after 6 p.m. we are done with job, we move on, and we kind of just like enjoy our relationship. So we go on quad rides. He loves quad rides. We love traveling. We are about to go to Italy for the next 2 weeks, so we're very excited about that. And cooking, kind of like doing things around the house, just things that can take us away from that routine and kind of get us outside. Going hiking, going for walks, hanging out with family. We have a family night every single week. We also have a cheat meal every single week, so we like to go out, we like to do dinner, we like quad rides, we like to travel. The job is very emotional, and it also requires you to be there. Like, you want to be present throughout the whole time. Even when Jack isn't trading or I'm not trading, we still like to look at the charts just to get an idea of what's going on, so we're not fully stepping away from everything that's going on, just so we have an idea what's running, what's not, who's doing good, who isn't. That'll allow us to, when we come back, we know what's going on. But overall, a trader's life needs balance, because if there is no balance, there is going to be burnouts, and we try for both of us to always keep that balanced lifestyle and to do a lot of fun things. Question number 3, how do you stay motivated after a losing streak? And I have been there. Every experienced trader has been there, even in the beginning. I remember I was losing for like 6 months straight, and I had seen zero signs of growth, and I just saw everybody around me making money. So I know exactly what it's like to be a beginner and go through these losing streaks, but I also know what it's like to be an experienced trader and think, am I never going to be able to make money again? Like, what is really wrong with me? Or is my trading setup never going to work again? Because there have been years where I feel lost and I need to change strategies because what was working before stopped working. So I go back to that beginning stage. So how am I still here? The only reason is discipline. And knowing that if you show up every single day and get 1% better, you don't even have to be 1% better monetarily, but if you get 1% better, like reading or journaling or sticking through it, then you will be able to see results in the long run. Because remember, it is not about motivation. You can be motivated for like 2 weeks and then your motivation goes out the window. It all has to do with discipline. Discipline is the only thing that will get you to wherever you want to be, whether it's in the gym, eating healthy, trading, studying. You need that discipline because motivation will only get you so far. So losing streaks are normal. Losing streaks will happen, but the discipline that it takes to see the results at the end, that is the only thing that's going to stick. You kind of just have to close your eyes and show up the next day. Whether you see results, whether you don't see results, the only thing that will actually show in the long run is if you show up every single day. If you don't show up every single day and you rely on motivation, you're not going to get anywhere. Another very popular question, if you had to start over with $1,000, what would you do? The first thing I would do is remove all expectations that I had, because the whole first year should only be focused on studying. That is it. All you're trying to do is learn the patterns, the strategies, and find a mentor that can help you to that next level, because you can't do it yourself. This is the same thing as starting any new career. People go to college for 4 years to learn something new. The same thing is with day trading. And I guess the disadvantage with trading is all you really need is a laptop, a few YouTube videos, and you can call yourself a trader and you can buy and sell a stock. That's the disadvantage, because this is a lot easier to obtain than it is obtaining a degree. At the end of the day, you need 4 years or else people are not going to trust you. So remove all of the expectations and understand that if you do want to start, you need a lot of studying. Next thing I would do, I would paper trade. If I only have $1,000, I don't want to put them into the market right away. I want to know what I'm doing before that. You can start a paper trading account on any platform. I'm pretty sure all of the ones that I have mentioned in my previous videos allows you to start up a paper trading, just so you get the hang of things a little bit. This is still removing the emotions from the equation, but that'll come later on. First, understand what you're doing. So make the paper trading account $1,000 and see how you do with that. The next step I would do, and this would probably be like a year and a couple months in, maybe start using actual money and not putting in the whole $1,000, but using smaller amounts so that I am only risking 1 to 2% of that. And then once I start the hang of things and I'm only trading one setup, I know what's going to happen. I know my risk management. Then I can start using the $1,000 and make $20 here, make $20 here. And then all of that is going to compound over time. So the same thing happens if you have $1,000, $5,000, $10,000. One of the advantages is there's no more PDT rule. So before, a PDT rule would only allow you to take 3 day trades a week. Now that is gone. So now you can take up to as many trades as you want throughout the week. But it is very important to understand what strategies you're doing, your risk management, how much you can lose on the trade, because if you have $1,000 and that is all you have, that can be gone in one trade as well. So start small and then start implementing all of the things that you've learned throughout the past like year and a half or so. And then once I build my account to maybe 1.5 to 2, then I can start upping my risk and start compounding that to ideally 5 to 10K account. For question number 5, what is the best and worst part about being a full-time day trader? The best part is the freedom that it can give, because I can pretty much take this laptop anywhere in the world, and that is my job. So I also don't have a schedule. So I don't need to clock in at this time and clock out at this time and then have somebody look over me like, did you do what I asked you? Did you get that thing done? And if they don't like you, they just kind of tell you can leave. Now the worst part, it's like a blessing and a curse. The blessing is that you have no schedule, no boss, nobody looking over you. The curse is that you have no paycheck, no boss, and everything relies on you. So the good things are also the bad things. They're also like your worst enemy, because you're literally going to show up for 14 to 16 hours a day, and then you're going to have nothing to show for it for months. That's pretty difficult. And then also understanding that if you're undisciplined, the market doesn't care. If you don't have anybody telling you what to do and you're creating your own schedule, you better show up every single day. And if you don't show up, you're not going to see results at the end of the day. So you have no tasks, nobody's telling you what to do, you have no paycheck. So it's almost as if you're alone in like a deserted island, like naked and alone and afraid, because you're trying to figure out all by yourself and nobody's telling you, hey, do this, do that, do that. So you're lost, and you're going to be lost for a lot of months, and you might see other people making money and you're not, and you're going to be afraid. You're going to be like, oh, is this actually going to work in the long run? And you're going to have a lot of doubts. But the more disciplined that you are, the more chances of results you can get. So the blessing and the curse. Question number 6, what is my plan for day trading, and what is my plan for this channel? For day trading, I just want to keep doing what I'm doing and being very consistent, also keeping those losses small and not using really big size, because I don't want to burn myself out again. I really have zero interest in scaling up, because right now the market has rewarded me, and I understand now the importance of keeping the right perspective, because $200, $500, $1,000 repeated over time is amazing, especially if I'm only trading 2 hours a day. So I just want to keep doing that for now. Maybe later on we get a market where I literally have to size up, but if I don't get that market, then I am just going to stick to what I know consistently. Singles always will add up, and keeping the right perspective. There are people out there making $10 million in a day, but to me that would require an insane burnout, an insane amount of stress that I really don't want to carry right now, especially not in the market that I am trading, because what I know and what I'm best at is not working right now, and that is completely okay. I just want to build a full-time job right now, only trading 2 hours a day. Now, my goals for this channel, I want to help as many beginners as possible with my experience, with everything that I have gone through, because I have faced the highest of highs and the lowest of lows, and I understand what beginner traders need. So what I want to do is teach you all through my experience and kind of help cut through all of this noise and lies and fakes that tell you that you can make 600% in 5 minutes, because that's not the truth. I want to tell you guys the real truth behind trading and show all of the mistakes that I made so that you guys don't have to, and just make it a lot easier. Question number 7, pay off debt or pay off debt and trade on the side. My response to that is very clear. Never trade with money that you are emotionally attached to. The money that you use in the beginning is probably gonna go out the window. So make sure you understand that trading is the same as going to college and starting up a business and doing anything else. It requires money, and it also requires you to be emotionally detached from the outcome. You need to lose in the beginning to understand the mistakes so that you can then grow and get better with them, because you're not going to start out and then make $1 million right away. You're going to lose, and if you lose that money, you're going to then say, I should have paid the debt off first, and then I could have tried something new. So don't be emotionally attached to the money, because the market doesn't care what you're going through and what your life is like outside. It's going to take it no matter what. So make sure you protect what you have. And then if you want to venture off and start something up new like day trading, make sure that you're trading with money that you are allowed to lose. For question number 8, what are your go-to setups? And recently I have a favorite setup, which is the percent gainers on the day. So I'll check what is up today, and then ideally during the pre-market action, I will see what levels are holding. Then at 9:30 a.m., I'm going to check for it to set a low, risk off of that low, and once it starts to hold, I'll take the trade and then sell when it tests the high a day or the pre-market highs. For my second setup, it would be breakouts. So these are the ones that have been running for the past few days, and I keep them on a separate watch list. From that watch list, I'm going to keep scanning them and keep checking which ones of those are holding and like building, and they're holding near the highs with volume. So say one day I wake up and I see that one got some volume, maybe got some news, it has some eyes on it, and then I'm going to watch to see where I can start in so that I can then hold for that breakout of the previous high that it set days prior. Number 3, it would be panic dip buys or first green days, which haven't been happening so often, but I still like to watch these. Say, for example, one of these recent runners goes up really big and then it starts to come down for a few days. And then once I feel like it's down a lot, I'm going to start waiting for it to slow down, for that selling pressure to slow down a little bit. And then that is when I start to go long and then sell for that quick bounce up. Same thing as a first green day, but a first green day is the day that it goes green after having a lot of red days before that. So say it has a lot of red days and it comes down a lot, and then here the selling pressure stopped and then it starts to hold that low. So now the next day I'm going to be watching it for that bounce day. Thank you all for all of the amazing questions. I love doing these Q&A and like helping you guys answer all of your questions from a place of experience and wanting you guys to do so much better. If you want to do another one soon, make sure that you hit the like button, and you're also following me on Twitter so that you can ask me more of these questions, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss it.